Shaquille O'Neal taking accountability on why his marriage didn't work on this segment of It's Scary to Remarry.
Divorce, you controlled your life forever. You can't control that.
No, I couldn't.
It's two people that involved in divorce, bro.
Yeah, but no, I never talked about this, and I'm glad you guys are asking because I don't mind talking about this. But I was bad. She was awesome. She really was. It was all me. I was just look. We don't need to talk about what I was doing, but I wasn't protecting her and protecting those vows. So sometimes when you live that double life, you get caught up in. So I'm not gonna say it was her. It was all me because she was. Look, she did exactly what she's supposed to do. Gave me beautiful kids, take care of the house, take care of corporate stuff. It was just all me.
What's up, Brave Arts community? This is Sean Heineman, your premier pre-engagement coach, back with another segment of It's Scary to Remarry, wanting you to love fearlessly. Shout out to Shaquille O'Neal, the Diesel, for taking accountability on why his marriage didn't work. I love how he talked about this on The Pivot. I was watching it the other day, and he put his ex-wife in the spotlight, and he talked on how she handled her business as a wife, as a mom, as a businesswoman. And, she did everything she was supposed to had done for the relationship to flourish. And he didn't play his part. And I'm just kind of paraphrasing. He was just like, I was basically like, I was wilding, I wasn't doing what I should have done as a husband in so many words. But he didn't put the blame on her. And I appreciate that so much that he would say that on a platform for all to see. So shout out to you for doing that. And I thought about this when I watched the video, that what if we took time to hold ourselves accountable on why our relationships haven't worked? Imagine going on a date and you get that question, why didn't your last relationship work? And you're like, well, she or he, they did this, they did that, and they're constantly blaming the other person. Huge red flag. If they put the blame on the other person, run. One of the reasons my wife, why her and I got along so good, and one of the reasons our relationship worked, was because she said that she liked the way that I didn't talk bad about my ex-wife, right? There's videos that I've done where I've talked about where I've dropped the ball as an ex-husband and keeping myself accountable, right? I mean, there were issues that I had. I was emotionally immature, stonewalling, not knowing how to express my feelings, and being conditional with my love, those kind of things. Like, I struggle in those areas. And I realized over the years, like, that wasn't fair to my ex-wife. But I held myself accountable. I never put her on blast, never talked bad about her. And any of these videos that you see that I post, I would never talk bad about her, because her and I understand what went on, and I wish her the best. I believe that when you hold yourself accountable, then your healing process, I believe you can heal faster, because you have taken accountability on why you have done, the mistakes that you have made. And then your healing process, it just expedites, because you're looking at, oh, here's what I did wrong. I can pinpoint these things. Now I can work on them. When you hold yourself accountable, you looking at yourself, you're doing that inner work. But when you're constantly blaming that other person, and I'm sure they have played a part, don't get me wrong, I'm sure. But when you're constantly putting the blame on that person, it doesn't help you heal, because you're so focused on everything that they've done wrong, right? So shout out to Shaquille O'Neal for taking accountability. I guess my question to you is, have you taken accountability for your past relationships? And let's not wait until our relationships fail in order for us to say, oh, this is why I went wrong. Like, do it now. If you're in a relationship, hold yourself accountable. If your significant other or your spouse is talking to you and they have a concern about something that's going on in a relationship, be honest enough to admit your faults, opposed to being defensive or stonewalling. And that way, maybe we can save some of these relationships and some of these marriages if we're being held accountable now. I grew up in an era where we were held accountable. I'm grateful for mentors and men who called me out on my BS anytime I got out of line. And I realized like, oh, this is some areas that I need to tighten up. And it took years for me to work on those things. And even getting remarried, you know, me going to therapy and me recognizing my issues, childhood traumas that affected my first marriage, right? So let's start working on being more accountable. Again, leave a comment below. I would love to hear from you as far as accountability, because I know that a lot of couples struggle with that and it's doing a lot of damage to relationships. So if you are watching this video, make sure you share this video with a friend. Someone might need to be held accountable. Maybe this video can help them. If you are listening to this via podcast, make sure you share this as well. Leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts. Would love to hear from you. Let's get those rating and reviews up. If you do leave a rating and review, I'll be sure to shout you out on the podcast. This is Sean Heineman at A Scared to Remarry. Once you do to love fearlessly, take care, people.